Spring is definitely in the air, and I am ready for 2024. Today we're going to be taking our seeds that have been incubating for the last 4 or 5 days, and we're going to put them into pots and get them under our grow lights. So every year I start off by, as I told you a couple days ago, by putting my seeds on over a heat mat. I kind of wrap them up in a towel, and then as we get about a month or two away from spring, I go ahead and start planting them into their own individual little containers. So I checked the seeds this morning, and I have several tomato seeds that I actually need to get planted. So I am going to go ahead and get started on some of these, and I'll show you how they look. Some people plant directly into their containers. This is what I've always done, and I found that it really works for me. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. So we're going to start off today by putting some of our large red cherry tomatoes. And I usually put 4 or 5 in a container just to make sure that they take. And let me show you how they look when they start to sprout. This is how they look. They start getting little sprouts on them. And so all I do is I take usually a couple of containers, so maybe about 10 little sprouts. And the first thing I do, my soil is going to be very dry. So I am going to add some water to the bottom of my container here. And these little plants are these little containers are just going to absorb some of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little spray over the top, just so that I can moisten them enough to get these planted. This soil is particularly dry for some reason. I don't usually get soil that's this dry, but who knows? Maybe it was sitting outside for a while. I don't know. But it's okay. It always works. This is not rocket science. It's actually very, very easy. So these are my red cherries. Now, I don't need a ton of them, but I need to make sure that what I have, will grow and turn into a plant out in the garden. So one actually came off. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and plant that one. So I just kind of use a little, I guess it's a wooden skewer, and I just make a little hole, and I just drop the root right down in the hole. Super, super, super easy. If I see some that are loose, I usually will plant those first. Here's another one. Just drop it in the hole, just like that. And I'm just going to make a couple of holes because I know that I've got, I'm going to do about 5 of these. And then whichever ones take, sometimes I transplant them into their own containers, but I really want about 10 of each of my tomato plants. So I kind of overplant as far as the seeds go, but I don't care. I'd rather have too many than not enough, because you never know what'll make. See how nice that looks? Make sure you can see it. Look at that. So these are already started. I mean, they're going to grow no matter what you do. This is the easiest way that I have found to have success in your gardening. Now, like I said, some people like to plant directly into their containers. That works too. I mean, whatever works for you. This is just what I do. I'm going to get a couple of these, and you can't really let them get too big, because honestly what happens is that the plants themselves will start growing into this material, into this paper towels, and it makes it just very difficult to get it out, to get the roots out without breaking them. So I just kind of use the little skewer here to kind of get the dirt on them. It does make a mess, so be prepared. I try to get one that has the seed on it, because I know that those aren't going to have broken. There's a good one. All right, so in this container, I've already put 5 little plants. So I am just going to give those another quick spray. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give that another quick spray. Not a lot. I don't want to drown them. They don't need a lot. We're going to put these under the heat lamps in a few minutes. So the next thing I do, a lot of ways you can do this, but I get these little popsicle sticks at the Dollar Tree. These are actually left over from last year. And I just put here cherry tomatoes. And I just stick it right in the side there. There you go. All right, so I'm just going to work on a few of these. I've got quite a few to do, and I'll show you. This is another cherry tomato. I'm going to do 10 of each of these. So each one of these will take up 2 containers. And I make my little popsicle stick. All right, and when I am done with this, I have a few extra that have rooted, but I don't need them. I really want to make sure that I can just get the things done that I'm working on. I don't need a ton. I don't need a million cherry tomato plants. This is a black strawberry tomato, and these, I don't know what happened, but they kind of all grew together. So I am really glad I checked these today, because this plant is really going, these roots are going crazy, much, much, much more than the cherry tomatoes. So I'm actually going to spray this a little just to make it easier to get it off of this paper towel. Look at that. Oh goodness. So I'm going to have to be creative here. Just kind of pull a little there. Okay, there's one we can plant. Nice long roots. Wow. All right. So this is our black strawberry tomato. I've never grown these black strawberry plants before, so I'm really anxious to see how they grow. They have really long roots. Oh my gosh, I planted these all on the same day, and the cherry tomato looks nothing like these. It is unbelievable. Now, if I can't pull them apart enough, I am going to plant a couple together and then I'll thin them. But so far, I seem to be able to. I'm also going to leave that little bit of root on, because that is a nice long one. A little, not the root. I'm going to leave a little bit of the. I'm going to leave a little bit of the paper towel on. That's what I meant to say. I got these from Baker Creek Seed Company, and I have been buying from them for quite a while. I always have really good success with the Baker Creek seeds, so I'm always really happy with them. So these are the new little plants that I planted today. I've got some tomatoes, some different kinds of flowers. I've got a lot of different things that have sprouted that I put in. And these are the ones I planted yesterday, the day before yesterday. And I don't have a lot of them coming up yet. There's a few. There's some in the back. So yeah, looking good. This is 2024 plants that are just getting started growing, and you're going to be shocked. In a couple weeks, you won't even recognize these. If you've enjoyed this video today, would you consider subscribing to my channel? Maybe give me a like or a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps my channel grow. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.